Let me give you 3 great steps to beginning to heal your abandonment issues so they don't wind up causing you to self-sabotage your relationship. See, when you have abandonment issues, it causes you to move through life and your relationships in a very cautious, suspicious, and defensive way. And this suspicion stems from a deep down belief, whether you're consciously aware of it or not in the subconscious, that ultimately people always leave you. They won't stick around. No matter what you do or no matter what about you, you're not enough for someone to stay, because in one way or another, they always leave, or you always wind up alone or left out, or whatever the case is. And what happens is it shows up in one or the other extreme in your relationships, to where either you become the person that is always grappling to your partner and, doing the most to try to earn your love from them. Because you figure, if I keep doing all the right things and I keep making sure I'm doing everything perfect, they'll stay. I'll keep earning that love. I'll earn the right for them to not leave me, right? But then you also need constant reassurance from them all the time. You need to always be told that you're loved and shown things consistently so that you can feel worthy that they're not going to bail. Or you're on the other end of the spectrum, to where because you've experienced abandonment in your life, you've gotten really good at being autonomous, taking care of yourself. And so even though you still want to love someone and bond with someone, you're always suspicious that they may not stay there with you. So whenever it seems like there could be a potential situation going on or a circumstance to where they may bail on you, no matter how good the relationship's been and all these things to this point, you'll bail first. You'll cut them off first. You'll put a distance between you and them to get away from the equation so that you don't have to experience the pain of being left. Because if you leave before they do, you avoided the rejection. And no matter which way you want to slice it, it winds up leaving your relationships in a very unhealthy imbalance, to where it's either going to be you requesting too much from your partner that they can never meet for you because you're needing them to fill in voids for you, or you'll never be able to fully invest and bond in the healthiest way because you're always 1 foot towards the door ready to bail whenever it feels like you may be abandoned. So the first thing you need to do is acknowledge and process the root cause of your abandonment issues. And 9 out of 10 chances, it stems from something dealing with the experience you had with your parental figures in your life growing up. So you have to reflect on those past experiences that triggered your feelings of abandonment and correlate and identify them with current patterns that contribute to your fears in your current relationships. The first steps to healing any abandonment always begins with understanding where the abandonment stems from. Because when you can do that, then you can pinpoint patterns and triggers that really get you in that abandonment type of defensive reactive space. So you can learn how to lean into healing those patterns or addressing those patterns instead of projecting those wounds onto your current relationships, self-sabotaging the situation for yourself. Awareness helps break the cycle of reacting out of fear. Second, you really got to build your self-worth and independence. And the best way you build self-worth, true self-worth, is by working on your sense of self-love, right? So many people sometimes that think they have a lot of self-worth actually don't have as much as they believe they do. They may be confident in some areas, right? Because they accomplish different things and they get to feel like, yeah, I'm someone doing something, right? But if you're not loving yourself to a certain degree, you actually don't feel as worthy, right? Your worth isn't there the way you may be trying to convince yourself that it is based off of the accolades and things you accomplish. It's just a card house waiting to crumble because inside is hollow because you don't really believe in your values as a human being from you loving yourself enough, because your belief system is built off of how you feel others did not love you. And so therefore you feel you don't necessarily love you a certain degree. So this means setting your own personal goals that nurtures your emotional well-being outside of the relationship, not, tangible goals towards some accolade or some sort of a thing you're trying to accomplish, right? Something you're building. No, emotional goals to work through your own self-acceptance, seeing your value, confirming why that value is accurate, and taking action steps to remind, honor, and show yourself that you actually do matter, that you do love yourself, that you are worthy, and that you do have a lot of value. And the more you become emotionally secure within yourself, the less dependent you become on your partner always seeking validation from them, seeking external validation, right? You don't need it whenever you have a whole bunch of internal validation. Whenever your glass is overflowing with that internally, you never need your partner for anything. You get to enjoy the space of wanting them if they still make sense for you at that point. And third, practice secure communication, meaning openly communicate your needs and your fears to your partner in a non-reactive way. That means you have to be courageous enough to learn how to express vulnerability without demanding constant reassurance. This builds trust and reduces misunderstandings and allows your partner to start learning your emotional triggers without feeling burdened by them. If you're really struggling with abandonment issues and don't want to self-sabotage a relationship you really value, either email or DM me coaching and we will get to work as long as you're truly ready to put the work in. Let's get it.